Okay, so good day everyone. Good day to each and every one of you. So today we'll be discussing or we will be starting our discussion dito sa third topic or third chapter for our subject, which is the introduction to income taxation. So our previous two topics, ang diniscuss lang natin is yung mga introduction to the taxation as a whole. Okay, so yung mga na-discuss natin previously, it pertains or it pertains to all of the all types of taxations as a whole. Okay, so business tax man yan, transfer tax, income tax, so all of those nakaka-cover sa previous chapters natin, previous topics. Pero today, we will be discussing yung introduction, yung mismong income taxation. Okay, so this will be the start na natin sa discussion natin sa mismong income tax. So, our first topic is the concept of income. Okay, so first let us define income. Right, so income, yung mga yung mga components niya. Okay, so first of all, bakit natin tinatax ang income? Right, so as you can see here, sinabi dito, income is the best measure of the taxpayer's ability to pay tax. Right, so yun nga, if you have more income, chances are you have more money to pay tax, right? So it is only right na yung basis natin or yung main basis natin sa pagtatax is yung income. And so kapag mas malaki yung income mo, syempre naturally dapat mas malaki din yung tax na babayaran mo. Pero kung mas maliit naman, naturally dapat mas maliit yung tax. That is only right and just. So what is income for taxation purposes? So a taxable item of income, okay, taxable item, this is referred to as an item of the gross income or inclusion in gross income. So yung mismong tinatax natin ay yung mismong included na income na tinatax natin. We call that inclusion in gross income or a item of gross income. So yung mismong taxable income, the taxable income, this refers to certain items of gross income, less deductions and personal exemptions allowed by law. Okay, so when we say the taxable income, ito na yung basis natin, ito na yung mismong basis natin ng pag-compute ng tax, right? So for example, meron tayong tax rate na let's say 30%. So yung 30% na yun, yung basis natin, right? Yung i-multiply natin is yung mismong taxable income. So itong taxable income na to, this is certain items or gross income or yung mga inclusions in the gross income, less any deductions kung meron man tayong pwedeng itanggal, pwedeng allowable deductions, or personal exemptions allowable by the law. So the next term, yung gross income. So what is gross income? So this is defined as the inflow of wealth to the taxpayer from whatever source, legal or illegal, that increases net worth. Okay, so ito na yung definition ng gross income natin. So this is a very important topic, itong gross income. Kasi nga itong gross income to yung main dine-determine natin kung matatax ba or hindi, right? So from this definition of gross income, we can actually determine the elements of the gross income. So what are the elements? We have three elements. So the first one is, it is a return on capital that increases net worth. Okay. Number two, it is a realized benefit. Number three, it is not exempted by law, contract, or treaty. So for an income to be taxable, it should have all of these three elements. Okay, so first, let's discuss each and every one of them separately. So the first one, it is a return on capital that increases net worth. So return on capital. So what do we mean by capital? So capital means any wealth or property. So gross income is a return on wealth or property that increases the taxpayer's net worth. Okay, so dapat nag-i-increase ang net worth natin when we say gross income. So for example, meron tayong, let's say, nagbebenta tayo, let's say, ng bigas, right? Yung bigas. Yung bigas na yun, let's say, for kavan, bumibili tayo ng 200 per kavan, tapos binebenta natin ng, let's say, 300. So, 300 yung selling price natin and 200 yung cost natin. So, we have, meron tayong gain na uh, 100, right? Okay, so, gain natin is 100. So, from that example, the one the 100 gain na yon, that is actually the return on capital. So yung capital natin is yung pinambili natin ng bigas, right? So uh, for in Ilocano's term, dagay ganansya tayo, dayjay ti gross income. While dayjay puunan tayo, dayjay met iti capital tayo. So the gross income should be the return on capital. So it should be dapat is ganansya tayo dapat dayjay. So meron kasing return on capital and return of capital. So when we say return of capital, nagsubli lang dahil puhunan tayo. Right? So awanti gain tayo, awang ganansya tayo. So if the return of capital, hindi yun natatax kasi hindi yun nag-i-increase ng net worth. Awan nga rin ganansya tayo, right? So walang increase in net worth. So that is not taxable. The only part that is taxable is the return on capital. Di ganansya tayo lang, iti matatax. So there are capital items which are deemed with infinite value. So hindi natin ito na-measure in terms of money. So there are capital items that have infinite value and are incapable of pecuniary valuation. Anything received as compensation for their loss is deemed a return of capital. So here we have yung mga capital items. So first we have life, health, and human reputation. So any compensation received for the loss of these three are deemed to be return of capital. So kahit na naka-receive tayo ng pera, it is deemed to be a return of capital, meaning hindi ito natatax. Right? So the first one is life. So the value of life is immeasurable by money. So under section 23 of the NIRC, the proceeds of life insurance policies paid to the heirs or beneficiaries upon death of the insured, whether in a single sum or otherwise, are exempt from income tax. So any compensation or any proceeds. So in this case, yung life insurance, right? So yung ma-receive nating pera in case of death, which is the life insurance, this is exempt from income tax. So any proceeds, kahit anumang mga pera na makukuha natin from life insurance, which is paid to the heirs or beneficiaries upon death. Okay, upon death, dapat na makukuha natin yung pera dahil nga namatay yung na-insure. Kapag ganun yung cost, then the sum that is received or yung perang na-receive natin is exempt. Okay? Kahit single sum man yan or otherwise. Okay? Kahit installment man yan. Lahat ng mga mare-receive mo for the insurance of the death taxpayer is deemed to be exempt. Pero that is the general rule. Pero there are examples where the return on capital from insurance policies are taxable. So merong mga example. So the first one is kapag yung taxpayer is na-outlive yung insurance policy. So for example, ang insurance is for 50 years. Right? After 50 years, meron kang mare-receive na amount. Kung ang na-insure is nag-exceed, like na-outlive yung mismong term ng insurance, so meaning hindi siya namatay, right? Nakuha lang yung pera kasi nag-expire na yung term ng insurance. So if that's the case, if that is the case, the compensation now is not caused by the death of the insured, that is caused by the expiration of the insurance. So kapag ganun yung reason, then it is no longer compensation for life. That is that is now taxable, right? So taxable na kapag ang insured is na-outlive uh, yung uh, yung policy, right? Saka lang tayo mag-exempt ng insurance kapag ang cost ng pagkuha ng proceeds is upon death. Okay? So another example is gain realized by the insured from the assignment or sale of his insurance policy. Kung ang insured naman is binenta yung insurance policy niya, syempre yung makukuha niyang pera is not caused by the death of the insured. So hindi na yon compensation for life. So yung gain na makukuha niya is now taxable as income for income taxation. So any interest income from the unpaid balance of the proceeds policy. So pag meron tayong interest income na ma-receive from the proceeds of the policy, that is actually taxable. Okay, kapag interest income, taxable na yon. And last example is yung any excess of the proceeds received over the acquisition cost and premium payments by an assignee of a life insurance policy. So halos parehas lang din ito sa 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 excess amount. So any excess nga katulad lang din ito sa kapag nag-outlive yung insurance ay nung na-insured sa policy. So basta ganun, basta kapag ang reason ng pag-receive natin ng proceeds from insurance is not caused by the death of the insured, then that will be taxable. Saka lang tayo mag-exempt kapag ang cost ng proceeds na makuha nating pera is because of the death of the insured. Okay? So the next capital which deemed infinite value is the health. Okay, any compensation received in consideration for the loss of health, such as compensation for personal injuries or tortuous act, is deemed a return of capital. So for example, meron na aksidente tayo, right? Isang kotse, nabangga tayo kahit naman nasa pedestrian lane tayo. So from that, dinebanda natin yung nakabangga sa atin. Tapos nanalo tayo. Nanalo tayo from the demand. So yung dinemanda natin, yung nakabangga sa atin, binayaran tayo for compensation para sa injuries natin, right? Binayaran tayo para sa pagbayad sa hospital, right? So and so forth. So yung na-receive nating pera na galing sa dinemanda natin, na ang cost, yung use is for a hospital bill, that is now a compensation for personal injury. So that is a return of capital. So yung mga ganon, hindi yun matatax kasi nga infinite value ang health. Yung last is yung human reputation. So the value of one's reputation cannot be measured financially. Any indemnity received as compensation for its impairment is deemed a return of capital, exempt from income tax. So may mga example tayo. So examples include moral damages received from oral defamation or slander, okay, alienation of affection, breach of promise to marry. Okay, so kung for example, yun nga, of oral defamation, alienation of affection, or breach of promise to marry. If any one of those happen to you, tapos dinemanda mo yung gumawa sa nun, tapos nakakuha ka ng moral damages, right? Nakuha ng compensation for moral damages. All of those, yung makuha mong compensation is hindi yun matatax kasi that is a payment for human reputation. That is a return of capital, kaya magiging exempt yon. Okay, so is differentiate the recovery of lost capital versus recovery of lost profits. So the loss of capital results in decrease in net worth, while the loss of profits does not decrease the net worth. So yun nga, the loss of capital, yung malolos natin or yung nawala sa atin is yung mismong capital natin, yung mismong puhunan natin. So that will decrease our net worth. Pero kapag loss naman natin is yung profits lang at yung ganansya lang natin ang nawala. So wala tayong loss of net worth. Well, hindi nagdi-decrease ang net worth natin. So the recovery of lost capital, this merely maintains the net worth. So this just recovers yung net worth mo, while the recovery of lost profits increases net worth. So yun nga, kapag nag-recover tayo ng lost profits, makukuha natin ulit yung ganansya natin. So that is actually, or Tagalog pa lang ganun siya is kita, right? So ganun na, yun na lang ang gagamitin ko. So kapag recovery of lost profits, makuha natin yung kita ulit natin, so that will increase the net worth. So therefore, the recovery of lost profits is a return on capital. Okay, so kapag meron tayong recovery of lost profits, that will be considered to be a return on capital. Pero kapag recovery of lost capital naman, that is just yun nga, return of capital naman yan. So here we have the taxable recovery of lost profits. So, and the recovery of lost profits through insurance, indemnity, contracts, or legal suits constitutes a taxable return on capital. So, kapag meron tayong recovery ng mga lost profits natin, that is actually a return on capital. Kaya, that will be taxable under sa income tax. So, the following are taxable recoveries of lost profits. The first one is proceeds or livestock, proceeds of crop or livestock insurance. The next one is guarantee payments, and the last one is indemnity received from patent infringement suit. So, let's give an example. So, for the proceeds of crop or livestock insurance, so for example, meron tayong isang magsasaka, right? Meron tayong magsasaka, let's say, meron siyang palayan na worth, let's say, 300,000 pesos. So, in-insure niya ang palayan na yon. So, nag-insure siya in cases of, let's say, calamities, in case of storms, right? So, after niya na-insure, yun nga, nagkaroon nga ng bagyo, tapos nasira yung mga palay niya. So, nakakuha siya ng insurance proceeds para sa mga palay niya worth 300,000 pesos. So, that 300,000 pesos na insurance na nakuha niya, that is considered to be a recovery of lost profits. Kasi, it's as if yung palay niya is nabenta niya for 300,000 lang din. So that is considered to be recovery of lost profits under sa income tax. So yun is matatax under sa income tax, yung makuha niyang pera for the insurance ng crop niya. So the next one is guarantee payments. So kapag meron tayong isang guarantee tapos hindi naman na-achieve yung guarantee na yon, so meron tayong makukuha from the guarantor na pera, that is actually taxable of lost profit. So for example, meron tayong isang franchise, right? Na nag-purchase tayo ng isang franchise, tapos yung franchisor nag-guarantee niya tayo na magkakaroon tayo ng annual franchise income na 100,000. So meron tayong guarantee na magkakaroon tayo ng annual income na 100,000. So after 1 year, inoperate natin yung franchise natin. Then naka-earn tayo, let's say, only 90,000. So 100,000 yung ginaranti sa atin, pero 90,000 lang naman yung na-earn natin. So from that, dahil nga nag-guarantee tayo ng 100,000, binayaran tayo ng 10,000 para mabuo yung 100,000 na guarantee ng franchisor. So yung 10,000 na yon na binayad sa atin for the guarantee, that is a recovery of lost profits, right? So that is a return on capital. So yun ay matatax under sa income tax. So the last example, yung indemnity received from patent infringement suit. So for example, meron tayong let's say business, right? Meron tayong nagbebenta tayo ng patented product. Okay, so yung product na yun is naka-register tayo ng patent. Tapos na-notice natin na hindi na medyo bumaba yung sales natin or yung income natin. Tapos nalaman natin yung competitor natin ginaya pala yung design ng product natin na re-register natin as a patent. So, ang ginawa natin is dinemanda natin yung competitor natin for patent infringement. Then, nanalo tayo, syempre kasi nga meron tayong patent. So, naka-receive tayo, let's say, ng 500,000 for the indemnity and for damages. So, yung 500,000 na yun na na-receive natin, that is actually a recovery of lost profits. Kasi nga, that is as if na recover lang natin yung 500,000 na profit dapat natin in the first place. Hindi lang natin nakuha kasi nga kinapi lang ng competitor natin yung patent natin. So, yung 500,000 na yon, that is an indemnity received from patent infringement suit. That is a recovery of lost profit. So, that is a taxable income under sa income tax. Okay, so that will be all for our first discussion dito sa introduction sa income taxation. So next meeting, we will be continuing our discussion. So we will begin the concept of realized benefit. So medyo marami-rami kasi ito, kaya next meeting na lang. Okay? So thank you for listening, class. Okay, so I will be sending again another lesson next time. So thank you and goodbye.